What's up, everybody? Thanks for listening to my first podcast here with my main man, Josh, the J-Man Mutt.
J-Man.
Yeah, we're going to be trying to do this pretty much on a weekly basis. Josh will probably be with me most of the time. Some weeks it might just be myself. But, yeah, we're going to try to do this every week and, let us know how you like it. So, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Hey, guys. Welcome to the Tan and J-Man Show. Yes, we officially have a name for our podcast. I'm your host, Tanner Lee, here with Josh, the J-Man Mutt.
Starring former Rochester High School #1 golfer, Tanner T-Money Wiggle Lee, and former mediocre Rochester High School first baseman, Josh, the J-Man Mutt. This is the Tan and J-Man Show. It's Monday night. Sit back, relax, and grab a beer. It's time for the Tan and J-Man Show, featuring Josh Munt and Tanner Lee. You're listening to the Tan and J-Man Show with your hosts, Tanner Lee and Josh Munt.
This press conference with a thank you to John Fox.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
You're listening to Rochester, Indiana's #1 podcast, Tan and J-Man Show, featuring Josh Munt and Tanner Lee.
Never thought we'd make it here, but you are listening to episode 100.
Keep it 100.
Of the Tan and J-Man Show, Rochester's #1 sports podcast. And if you've listened to all 100 episodes, you need to go get some professional help.
Yes, you do. Our dwindling audience would tell you that.
No, all jokes aside, thank you to everybody who has listened and supported this podcast back since we started it in my parents' basement in November of 2016, shortly after the Cubs won the World Series. Looking back on the 100 episodes, Josh, what were some of the favorite topics we've talked about, in your opinion?
Put me on the spot. I wish I could have prepared for this. Favorite topics? Let's see. My sports teams have kind of sucked since we started.
Well, I mean, the Cubs have made the playoffs every year.
Yeah. Topic-wise, my favorite thing to do.
Or what's one of the favorite things you look forward to about the podcast? Or any...
I love trying to stump you, Birdie, Bogey.
That's pretty easy anymore.
It's so much fun to see you fail. I like when we do interviews. It's always fun.
Who's? Did you have a favorite? Have you had a favorite?
Coach Hooker.
Yeah,
he's just so funny.
Really, I've really enjoyed them all.
Every single one, yeah.
Rod Henry was kind of the first big interview we did. Mm-hmm. Jason Sobel earlier this year was kind of cool.
It's always fun to have Camo and Garrett and Faust on.
Watching.
Connor,
Webby.
Eiler.
Everybody. Eiler hasn't made a studio appearance.
Pop.
Yeah.
He did call in, though, didn't he?
He has called in. So
Pete, that was a good one that I was not here for.
So we, once again, just thank everybody, and we're gonna keep it rolling as long as we are still having fun with this.
Yeah.
So, and like always, or at least every episode in 2018, the Tan and J-Man Show has been brought to you by Frauenfelder Dental Clinic. They're a great family-owned dental clinic that offers laser whitening and dentistry along with braces, implants, and your typical teeth cleanings. Go see Dr. Bill or Dr. DJ today for all of your dental needs. Like them on Facebook and check out their website, stayoftheartsmile.com. And just like this is a historic day in history for the Tan and J-Man Show, I got an On This Day segment. Sport events that happened on this day, October 16th, throughout history. So why don't we get started with a little bit of On This Day. On this day in 1936, a guy named Lou Gehrig, probably heard of him, got voted AL MVP by the BBWAA.
Baseball Writers Association.
On this day in 1949, the first NASCAR Sprint Cup was won by Red Baron.
Ever heard of Red Baron?
I had not.
Isn't there a frozen pizza?
I think there's a frozen pizza named Red Baron. I don't know if it's... yeah. On this day in 1962, the New York Yankees appeared in their 12th and...
What year?
Wait, this doesn't make sense. Listen to this. 1962, New York Yankees appear in 12 and win 9 of the last 14 World Series. That doesn't...
So they appeared in their 12th World Series in the last 14 years. From 1948 to 1962, they appeared in 12 and they won 9 of them. I got it.
On this day in 1968, Americans Tommy Smith and John Carlos famously gave the Black Power salute on the 200-meter medal podium during the Mexico City Olympics.
Not at the table, Carlos.
I was surprised that was this late. October for the Olympics?
Yeah, they did weird things back in the 60s. Might have had something to do with the war.
True. On this day in 1968, the Milwaukee Bucks played their first game, losing to the Chicago Bulls 89-84.
Barn burner.
Barn burner. The fear of the deer was created back then. Let's see here. In 1988, Oral Hershiser, first to pitch a shutout in the playoff and World Series.
Nice. A's won that World Series. You know what's kind of funny about that World Series? The only thing people remember of that World Series, I've said World Series like 4 times in the past 10 words, was Kirk Gibson's walk-off homer off of Dennis Eckersley.
Yes.
Dodgers didn't even win that series.
No, they didn't. This day in 2005, the White Sox were heading to the World Series as they won the ALCS 4-1 over the Anaheim Angels.
That was a crazy series. I actually just, for some reason, saw the clip of Pierzynski swinging and missing, but they said the ball hit the ground and he took off first and ended up scoring.
And on this day in 2016, Ed Whitlock, at age 85, becomes the oldest person to complete a marathon under 4 hours at Toronto Waterfront Marathon. He did it in 3 hours and 56 minutes.
It's impressive.
Good job, Ed.
Take me 4 days.
That's all I got for on this day.
So that's just going into Birdie Bogey now. The Titans were shut out yesterday, which brings me to this question. Since 2006, 2 teams are tied for getting shut out the most in the NFL. What are those 2 teams?
That's a fantastic question.
Titans are not a team. I'll even throw the Browns are not one of those 2
I wasn't
teams.
against the Browns.
Okay.
But that's a
2
fantastic
teams.
question.
Get them both right.
I like it. And Birdie Bogey is brought to you by, like it is every week, by Noble Gnome LLC. It's a freshly grown market and garden by my cousin Bryce Romine and his wife Katie Romine. You can usually catch them at the Kosciuszko County Farmers Market on the weekends, except I think those are going to be dying down here soon with the cold. But they grow a little bit of everything. Kale, radishes, corn, carrots, beets, lettuce, tomatoes. You name it, they probably grow it. Check them out on Facebook. Give them a like there. And on Instagram, give them a follow. The Noble Gnome. Good stuff. Good stuff. I don't really have anything to talk about baseball-wise. Do you have anything?
Brewers at the moment are up 2-1. That's really all I have to say about it. For as much talent as the Dodgers have, they have had quite a few games this year that were just like last night where they got shut out and you're just wondering why. They're not playing well, and the Brewers just, things keep going right for them. Orlando Arcia hit 3 homers all season, coming to the playoffs in the freaking 6 games he's played, he has 3 homers. So it's kind of what playoff dreams are made of. At the moment, I don't know what the Red Sox-Astros score is. You'll all be listening to this pod after the game, probably. But last I saw, Red Sox were up 2-1. Series is tied at 1. It's going to be a great series. Would not be surprised if that goes 7.
Red Sox are up 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th.
This will actually, we're just going to knock all our sponsors out of the way right away. This will be the J-Man's Book of Prediction of the Week.
Dano, hold it a minute. I want to book this one.
That series will go 7 games, and the Houston Astros will win in Fenway.
I really hope you're right, because that means then the Astros would take control of this thing, and it would make your booking streak at 2, I believe.
I don't remember what I did.
I don't remember what you did 2 weeks ago, but last week was Drew Brees breaking the passing record, which you got
the week before I said both road teams would win the wild card, and I
halfway.
got halfway right.
But the J-Man's Book of Prediction Week is sponsored, just like it is every week, by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Travis Watring. Here's a little blurb from Travis himself.
Watrin with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. I'm a multi-line agent specializing in life, home, renters, auto, business insurance, workers' compensation, and farm insurance. Please contact me at travis.watchering@infb.com or 219-869-4561. And my business Twitter is @TTW_IFBI.
All right, J-Man, let's get right into some college football. Let's get right into predicting some games. I got to pull them up here. I'm not very prepared. Big Ten. You got Maryland at number 19, Iowa. Iowa's a 10-point favorite.
Iowa covers. Those corn-fed boys be ready, rock and roll. They played really well at Indiana over the weekend.
Yeah, we thought. Or you picked Indiana. I picked Iowa in a close one.
Iowa
won 42-16.
Shellacked them.
That Tom Allen defense struggled mightily.
Their quarterback, whose first name is escaping me, his last name's Stanley.
Is it Nathan Stanley?
Nathan Stanley threw 6 touchdowns.
I cannot believe this is a noon game. Number 6, Michigan's at number 24, Michigan State.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Michigan's a 7-point favorite on the road.
Michigan State coming off a huge win in Happy Valley.
Did you know they've won 5 of their last 6 games against Penn State?
Interesting. 2 just horrific scandals of programs. Michigan State's football team is not really involved in a scandal, but the school as a whole. And then Penn State, man.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Michigan. I said, what did Michigan do?
I said Michigan State, didn't I?
Yeah, but I thought you were talking about
you were talking about
teams.
Michigan. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was talking about, okay. Give me Michigan.
Give me Khakis.
Khakis.
They're ranked number 6 now.
Milk steak.
They're right back in the playoff conversation. Yeah. Do you like them to cover?
What is the spread?
7.
Yeah.
I'll say right on it. Right on 7.
31-21.
Northwestern coming off a improbable victory against the Scott Frost.
Can you imagine how their fans are feeling?
I don't think Ryan Olsman was feeling very good. He was there in person.
He was. 2 weeks games he go to? He goes about every week.
Quite a few. Northwestern's a 20.5-point favorite on the road at Buckers.
Oh, Northwestern covers that easy.
8 pass yards. Between 2 quarterbacks.
4 interceptions or 5 or
4.
Even more.
2 and 18 for 8 passing yards.
They are possibly the worst Big Ten team in the history of the league that I can think of.
They're really bad. Go on change.org. Join our movement. Sign the petition. Let's get Rutgers out of the Big Ten.
You could be our 7th signee in 3 weeks. Please do it.
Let our voices be heard to Jim Delaney. Illinois Fighting Illini coming off a shellacking loss, 46-7 to Purdue Boilermakers. They are 3-3. Head up to Camp Randall to face the number 23, 4-2 Wisconsin Badgers.
Speaking of a team that's not playing very well, it's Skansen.
Yeah, they're out of the playoff.
Yeah. What's the spread on
25.
That's it. Wisconsin, 54-17. Be a shellacking.
I think Jonathan Taylor runs for a while.
He just won't stop running. Just gonna
Hornibrook
be like
might even air it out a little bit.
Continuous loop of him
Yeah,
running.
I think Wisconsin covers that. Indiana coming off a tough loss, like we mentioned, tough loss in terms of just a game they thought they could get on homecoming. They host a pissed-off Penn State team, number 18. Penn State's 14-point favorites.
IU's going to have to start racking up at least 2 more W's here to get back into that, or to be bowl eligible, but it's not going to happen this week. Penn State goes in there, and I think they roll.
I think Penn State goes in and covers.
What's the spread? I'm not even paying
14.
attention to. Oh, yeah.
PJ Fleck and his 3-3 boat rowers.
They hung in there against the Buckeyes.
They traveled to Nebraska to take on Scott Frost's 0-6 Cornhuskers. Nebraska is a 3.5-point favorite.
This will be Scott Frost's first win at home against a team that's just not very good. Minnesota, I think they finally get it done.
If you're a Minnesota fan, what are you thinking about Fleck's progress so far in year 2?
They're really young. They're starting a walk-on quarterback, freshman quarterback. Just got to build, man. Especially in football. I mean, in basketball, you can come in and fix things right away, but in football, it takes a while.
It just takes time. I'm going to save the Purdue game for last. Number 20, Cincinnati, undefeated.
The Natty, huh?
They're undefeated. They're at Temple. Temple's a 3.5-point favorite.
Temple's favorite at home, huh?
They are. Temple's 4-3.
Give me the Owls.
I like the Bearcats go 7-0. Luke Fickell getting it done.
The Fick man.
Number 9, Oklahoma travels to 3-3 TCU. Oklahoma's 7.5-point favorite.
Oklahoma wins in a close one. I think TCU's defense keeps them in it, but Oklahoma has too much talent.
I like that.
Too much talent.
Number 1, Alabama.
Alabama.
It's a 29-point favorite on the road to Rocky Top, coming off a win against Auburn.
Auburn, what the heck's wrong
Tennessee's
with it?
3-3. What? Malzone? Is that
Gus.
even,
Yeah.
might
Gus
be on the hot seat.
Malzone, yeah. Give me Alabama. Big.
Cover?
Cover.
I like Alabama. I think they'll cover as well. Run, Ralphie, run. Colorado coming off a tough loss at USC.
They did lose.
I think USC's beat them now 14 or 15 straight years.
Wow.
Now they travel to a pissed-off number 15 Washington team who should have won, missed a field goal in regulation. Washington's a 15.5-point favorite.
Give me Washington to cover.
I like Washington, but I'll say they don't cover. I'll just change it up. Here's a good game, really good game. In my opinion, probably should have been game day, but it's not. Number 16, 5-0 NC State travels to number 3, 6-0 Clemson.
Interesting.
Battle for the ACC Atlantic title, pretty much.
Give me Clemson by 7.
16.5-point favorites.
16.5? Give me Clemson by 7.
Clemson, but they don't cover. 1-5 Connecticut travels to number 21, 6-0 South Florida, who escaped a close one in Tulsa Friday night.
South Florida's played nobody, and they've escaped against bad teams. UConn's a trash football program. They're Buckers-esque. Give me South Florida. The Bulls.
32.5-point favorite.
Oh, man. They don't cover it, though.
You guys should have seen Josh's reaction. That was pretty funny.
32.
Give me Charlie Strong and the Bulls, but they don't cover. Number 22, Mississippi State, who has a 4-2 record, traveled down to Bayou, faced Coach O and his LSU number 5 ranked LSU Tigers. They're 6-1, coming off a big home win against the Georgia Bulldogs.
Give me that them Tigers.
6.5-point favorite.
Give me them Tigers. Cover them, man.
Yep, I like LSU to cover. Another undefeated team who escaped one against Memphis. Number 10, 6-0 UCF travels to 2-4 East Carolina. UCF's a 21-point favorite.
The defending champs get her done.
Defending champs. Yeah, UCF wins and covers. 3-4 Vanderbilt travels to 5-1, number 14 Kentucky. Kentucky's ranked 14th, Josh.
Vandy, man, they should have had the Gators, but they didn't close.
Kentucky's 11-point favorite.
Where's that at?
Kentucky.
It's at Kentucky. Give me. What's Kentucky's mascot?
Wildcats.
Jeez.
Not so fast, my friend. Give me the Commodores in an upset.
What's a Commodore? Is it like a
something
knight?
To do with like an anchor, because they have like anchor. They have anchors sometimes on their helmets and stuff. I don't know.
A shipman. It's a shipman. It's a seaman.
Gosh, I hope we're right. If not, we're just making idiots of ourselves.
J-Man's gonna Google it while you bring up the next game.
Game day. Number 12, Oregon, coming off a good win over Washington. They have a 5-1 record. They travel to number 25, newly ranked 5-1 Washington State. Big Bertha, the Washington State flag that's been flown at like 230-some straight college game days, finally gets to go to its own home this week. First time ever.
Give me Oregon.
2.5-point underdogs, Oregon is.
Give me Oregon. You picking Oregon? Who are you picking?
Picking Washington State. Give me the Cougars.
A Commodore. It's a shipman.
Okay.
The president of a yacht club. The senior captain of a shipping line. Or a naval officer of high rank, in particular an officer in the U.S. Navy or Coast Guard ranking above captain, below rear admiral. So, we were right.
And before we pick the Purdue game and a few other things here, thoughts on Notre Dame eking out a 19-14 win over Pittsburgh? Does that change your mind on their results going forward?
I don't think so. They have a bye this week, correct? I think they'll be ready to go for their game after a bye, which is against Navy. It doesn't change much. They've kind of played up and down to their competition all year. They struggled against Ball State, struggled against Vanderbilt, but then were lights out against Michigan and Stanford, and so I think they're fine. Virginia Tech, right?
The at USC game will be a big one.
That'll be the game. Would they keep an 11-1 Notre Dame in the playoff if they were to lose that final game? Now, if they were to lose the Navy and then won the rest of their games to keep them in, or just because of the recency bias, do you think they'd keep them out?
You can't take 11-1 Notre Dame over like a one-loss Georgia or Alabama.
Yeah,
because of the conference.
Right. But
strength of schedule.
Yeah. You wouldn't think, but yeah.
Any winners and losers off the top of your head in college football this weekend?
I don't really have any, to be honest.
Well, your Miami Hurricanes were losers. Losing
They're
16-13
big
to
losers. Virginia has their number, man.
Virginia is 4-2. It's not
bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
West Virginia losing 30-14 to Iowa State. Iowa State plays up to their competition.
Did you pick Iowa State?
I said it to West Virginia in a close one. Iowa State's now 3-3.
I think West Virginia is going to be my new team. I think I'm going to jump on that bandwagon and keep
Mountaineers?
on. Mountaineers.
You can see Country Roads take me.
I know. My grandpa's born in West Virginia. He's a West Virginia fan.
I like it, Josh.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
You look like you could be from West Virginia.
You know, I'm going to grow out this big old bushy beard. I'll look like a Mountaineer.
I like it. And now it gets me to the last prediction. Number 2, Ohio State, coming off a win over Minnesota against my Purdue Boilermakers. Ohio State's a 13.5-point favorite. ABC, 7:30 Saturday night.
I think Purdue hangs in there. I think they can definitely score with them. But Ohio State's too good. I think they win something like 38-27. I think it'll be pretty close, though.
Purdue has had good luck at Ross Stadium since the year 2000.
Place will be loud both ways,
really. Sold out. Probably about 10,000, 15,000 Ohio State fans. Purdue has had some good luck against Ohio State. This is Jeff Brom's first time going against Ohio State. But for my prediction, you're going to have to listen to this week's segment of the Boiler Breakdown. We are back for another edition of the Boiler Breakdown. We decided to take a week off during the Boilers bye week, but we definitely want to talk about this latest game in which the Boilers defeated one of their rivals, the Illinois Fighting Illini, by a score of 46-7 to keep the Cannon for a third consecutive year in the overall series of the Cannon. It is now tied for the first time since 1905. This was also the Boilers' biggest win deficit in points-wise since 2012 when they beat Eastern Kentucky, and biggest over an FBS team since Joe Tiller's final game as the head coach of Purdue back in 2008 when they beat Indiana for the Old Oaken Bucket. And with that, I bring in the co-host of the Boiler Breakdown segment. He's in Champaign actually right now, Evan Webb. Webby, what's going on?
Not a whole lot, man. It was a really great win, and I'm just going to spend the entire week here in Champaign just rubbing in everyone's faces. Can't wait.
We don't get one of these wins very often, especially on the road, when we can just relax and enjoy the whole game. It was beautiful.
It was mirrored the Nebraska game, and the fact that Illinois marched down the field on their first possession, scored pretty easily, but then after that, give credit to Nick Holt and the defense. They tightened things up, and it was pretty much after the first quarter we could just sit back and relax and watch some football.
It was just like the Nebraska game. Illinois got off to a good start. got up 7-0, and then after that it was like Purdue made some adjustments, made Illinois uncomfortable, and it was on. I thought Purdue, especially their defense, did a great job of taking Illinois' run game away from them and making them pass, because Illinois is a run-first team, and although they did try to run it 31 times, they only got 69 yards off those carries, and 20 of the 31 carries was from A.J. Bush himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was kind of reminded me a little bit of the Boston College game, and the fact that we just absolutely took their identity completely away from them. It was awesome to watch.
Which is nice. I don't want to look too far ahead into the schedule, but that's nice with Iowa and Wisconsin, because those teams are kind of like Boston College on steroids, in which they are run-heavy teams, and we do a lot better against. It seems that we do a lot better against run-heavy teams than we do against a Missouri type or somebody who can spread us out with some athletes.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. It definitely gives you more confidence in those games. A couple weeks ago we were probably thinking those were automatic losses, but now the way we've been able to watch the defense play, you could even say, especially with both of those games being at home in Ross-Ade, you could pretty much call those as of right now, you could probably call those games a toss-up at the moment, just from the way that our defense has been playing. Maybe Iowa more than Wisconsin, just because it's still Wisconsin, but you never know.
Yeah, Wisconsin has been a thorn in Purdue's side. I guess you could say we haven't beat them at all since 2003, and that was up at Camp Randall. We haven't beat them at home since, I believe, 1998 or 97, one of those 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's been quite a while. But, hey, all things must come to an end eventually. But that game's a couple weeks away. Let's still focus on this Illinois win, which Purdue's really starting to dominate this series. I mean, that's 4 straight trips to Champaign. Purdue's come away victorious. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, heck, we did it with Hazel, so
yeah, he was 2-0 there.
Problem too.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team I thought Purdue should beat on paper, but still, I mean, I thought that earlier this year in Eastern Michigan, and it didn't happen.
Right.
So it was nice to see us just come out and punch them in the mouth, especially coming off a bye week when I hated when the bye week came because I thought offense was rolling. Then we had the bye week. I thought, I hope that doesn't hurt the momentum, but it didn't. It didn't at all.
No.
I mean, David Blau started right where he left off, went 25 for 36 for 377 yards, 3 touchdowns. Did throw a pick, but that was really just a really good play by the defender. David's really turned into one of the better stories in all of college football. It just hasn't really gained that national exposure yet, but to see how far he has come since that injury last year against Illinois, it's kind of being written off by a lot of people, kind of even by myself, in the quarterback competition with Sindelar coming into the year. Then Sindelar gets hurt midway through practice up to the Missouri game, and David got his chance. Brom, who in the first part of, or at least the first 2 games of the season, it seemed like he was kind of being more conservative with the playbook when Blau was in there. I think he kind of just said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to run my plays, and if we're going to lose with David in there, we're going to lose with him in there, but we're going to go down swinging. And David has took control of the reins, and he is playing phenomenal football.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. It is one of those things where, this has been a game that I think David has had circled on his calendar, really since the game date was announced, being how he went out last year with that ankle injury against Illinois. I was kind of getting mad towards the end of the game. I was hoping Brom was going to take him out sooner than he actually did because I didn't want to get him to get hurt again. But he just came out just guns blazing. It's been incredible. I mean, I'm kind of the same boat you were in. I like David over Sindelar for the quarterback competition, but I still thought, going into the season that it was Sindelar's job to lose, and kind of wrote David off as well. It was just like, he'll be a really good backup. But, man, he has proven everyone wrong, and I am not mad about it.
No. And, I was the same way towards the end of the game. I'm like, let's get Sindelar or maybe even Cyper Plummer in and get these guys some reps, because David did take some shots towards the end of the game. But I think he probably left it up to David. And with David getting hurt last year, I think he wanted to finish it out on his own terms.
Yeah, I think it's probably exactly what happened.
But, just a big game all around for the offense. Even Jared Sparks got in the passing action, going 1 for 1 for 7 yards and a touchdown, which he threw that completion to David Blau. And Jeff Brom in his press conference today said that is called the, I believe the 6-pack is what that play is called. So it's their kind of version of the Philly special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a great play call. And is that the first time Sparks has actually thrown a pass?
I believe so, and it's Jeff Brom a few weeks ago on his weekly Jeff Brom radio show on Wednesday nights said that Jared Sparks was going to throw a pass sometimes this year, and it happened. And we dialed up a lot of trick plays. We ran 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken. So that's indications to me that they wanted to practice some for this upcoming Saturday against Ohio State, because I think you're going to have to run some trick plays and some just take some chances if you're going to hang in there, let alone beat a team like Ohio State.
Right. And it's one of those things where might as well run a few extra, give them a few more plays that they need to worry about so that we can maybe bust out a few that we haven't ran already. But, yeah, we're going to need every possible good luck charm we can get next week against the Buckeyes.
Absolutely. One thing on our side, and you were saying it with David Blau just letting loose and airing it out, Purdue is currently tied with Alabama and Clemson for third in the FBS with 17 plays of 40 yards or more.
Wow.
Never thought I'd see that.
No, especially, I was even just as surprised to see Alabama on there, because they've been one of those teams that have always been dominant, but it's usually because of every position besides the quarterback. But they've got a good one down there.
Yeah, Tua is pretty good, even though he got banged up the other night. So it'll be interesting to see if he can give it a go this weekend or not. But Purdue's running game was good again. DJ Knox, one of your favorite players, had 17 carries for 150 yards, including just a truck stick on one of the Illinois defenders who was trying to bring the wood, but he got the wood given to him. And then Markel Jones had a good game, 7 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown, I believe, put him in the either touchdown or the yards put him in the top 10 in Purdue history, which is a nice little achievement.
It was top 10 of something, but
yeah,
it's kind of interesting with Markel because he came in, everyone thought of him as he was going to be the feature back, while his time here. But I mean, credit to DJ Knox, he kind of took over that role, and now Markel's kind of a nice little, other option that we have a running back. But I thought that was kind of interesting how that's shaken out over Markel's 4 years.
Yeah, glad he stuck with it and still had a pretty nice career for himself. And Terrio Fuller took some of those carries last year, which he got some carries late in this game. He had only 6 carries for 11 yards, but it was nice to see him kind of get a little action, maybe give him some confidence. And I want to give a shout to Alexander Horvath, the walk-on fullback from Mishawaka, Indiana. He had 5 carries for 19 yards and his first career touchdown. I like the way they use him a lot.
Yeah, it was. I believe he was the one when you and I went to the spring game. They used him a lot, mainly just due to injuries at the running back position. But yeah, I mean, I liked what I saw during the spring game of his. He's definitely earning the carries that he's gotten so far, and I think he'll be a kind of, I don't know why it reminds me a little bit of like a Dan Deerking from back in the day.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Hopefully.
How about a John Goldsberry?
Oh, there you go.
But I think Horvath carries the ball a little more. Goldsberry is more of a blocker, but good for him. Braum actually talked about him today in his press conference and said if they had to solely rely on him as the running back, they're 100% confident in him. So I thought that was high praise of a walk-on.
Yeah, for sure.
Another guy, Jeff Braum praised, and the guy I think is playing phenomenal this year is Isaac Zico. Braum said his attitude has been great this year, and it's kind of reflected on some of the other wide receivers. He had 5 catches for 127 yards for 2 touchdowns. His average yardage per reception was 25.4 yards. He's become Purdue's deep ball threat, a question mark that was left with the graduation of Anthony Mahangu, and he's answered the call.
Yeah, for sure. It was. I mean, I know last year him and Terry Wright, both junior college transfers, definitely struggled, which you can expect from a JUCO playing, major college football. And usually the saying is, usually the second year is when they make their strides. And for Zico, that is absolutely true. I've been very happy with him, very impressed. Was it him or was it Wright that had the touchdown that ended up not being a touchdown because they called him out of bounds? I don't remember.
I think it was Terry Wright. I think
it was, yeah.
But yeah, I wish they would have reviewed that. That was a touchdown.
Yeah.
I kind of wish Jeff would have at least took a timeout. Gave the refs a look at it, but the refs are supposed to look at any close play, and I was really surprised they did not look at that. I'm glad that did not come back to bite Purdue. And, there's a few other things I'll talk about and a few things I didn't like, but that was few and far in between because I liked a lot that I saw Saturday, including Rondell Moore. Just doing what he does. I think you're going to be pretty safe with your bet. I really do. He had
I hope so.
4 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown, including one of those catches. He got a lot of yak, 60 yards that play ended up being. Bryson Hopkins had 2 catches for 44 yards. We're seeing him consistently becoming more and more part of this offense. I really like him a lot. Cole Herdman's still banged up. Hopefully he can play this weekend against Ohio State. He's been out the last couple weeks. But besides Blau catching a pass himself, we had 10 guys catch a pass from David Blau. Yeah, that is spreading the ball around.
Yeah, that's something we were definitely going to need. I know we talked about early on in the year with the emergence of Rondell Moore so early on that, other people are going to have to step up if we have any chance of scoring the ball. Zico's definitely taken that, and even Sparks has done a really good job. But, yeah, I've been very, very impressed and very happy with the receiving core this year.
Attention, David Bell. Purdue spreads the ball around.
Yeah, no kidding.
On the flip side, on the defense, we already kind of hit on the defense, how we thought they played really well. They're continuing to improve, really, this year. A few guys, though, individually, I really wanted to give a round of applause. Jacob Thieneman, he had 8 tackles, 7 solos. He had a sack, a tackle and a half for a loss, and he had one of the best tackles I've seen open field one time where Illinois threw a screen pass, and if he didn't make that open field tackle, he was probably gone. And he split between 2 blockers. It was a beautiful, fundamentally football play.
Yeah, and that's another really good story of him, being a walk-on to finally earning, playing time to actually being a starter, and now he's got his little brother on the team kind of following in his footsteps. I've definitely been pretty happy with him, and he's been a really good leader for the defense as well.
Yeah, hopefully his brother can become similar to the type of player he is. And his brother had a tackle. His brother's getting a lot, and he had a pass deflection. His brother's getting a lot of playing time. Cornell Jones continues to prove why he's going to be a really good one for Purdue. He had 5 tackles, including 3 solos and a sack. Giovanni Revere had 4 tackles, 4 solos and a sack, and 2 tackles for loss, which Cornell Jones had 3 tackles for loss. Those 2 guys are starting to get in there and disrupt the passing lanes.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was a really good showing by the defense. Obviously, only give up 7 points. Yes, it was against Illinois, and not. We'll see how they do next week against Ohio State. But I mean, it's one of those things where, we know that Illinois wasn't, world beaters by any means, but good teams are supposed to, handle the lesser teams, and Purdue definitely handled Illinois, so that's definitely a good sign. I definitely thought we would win. I didn't think we would win by that much. But
no,
I will take it any day of the week.
Yeah, interesting stat. Purdue did not have any kick returns because Illinois' one kickoff was a touchback, and that's the only time they kicked off.
Huh.
So, they kicked off twice for 2 touchbacks. Excuse me, because they kicked off
second
half. So
yeah, really the only really negative thing we could say about Purdue was just the special teams, which has been a struggle all year. Not really sure what was going on. I mean, obviously Spencer he made 2 of both his field goals, which was good. But I know, what was it, that extra point that Shopper just didn't catch the ball. Yeah, there was 2 extra points.
Spencer missed one, and then Shopper just didn't get the hold down correctly or lost the ball. But that stuff, you got to get that stuff corrected. I mean, because those are things that could bite you in a close game, big time.
Yep, I mean, I believe we missed an extra point against Eastern Michigan, and that could have.
Yeah, we did.
And we lost by 1.
And I think we missed one against Boston College. Because Spencer was sick and he missed one.
Yep.
And then Dellinger missed one, or he missed a short field goal or something there in Boston College. So
I think it was another extra point.
I think you're right. They got to get that figured out, because that's an area of the Purdue's game I'm not real confident in right now.
Right, and that's one of those things where next week against Ohio State, your margin of error is practically 0, and that 1 extra point or 1 missed field goal could be the difference between a loss or a colossal upset. So
absolutely, and let's unless you got anything else you want to say about the Illinois game.
No, I mean, it was just a great day to be a Boilermaker on Saturday. And we've won now. I think it's 3 homecomings we've won this year.
Yes, it's nice to be a little spoiler.
So hopefully people will stop scheduling us for their homecoming games, because I feel like the last 5 years we were playing someone's homecoming every single year. So hopefully that is coming to an end. But just overall great game. I was definitely worried coming out of the bye that we were gonna see that slow start or be sluggish against the team that I feel like we should beat, and they definitely did not do that. So more than I can say for the Chicago Bears, but that's for a discussion for another day.
I'm going to leave that one alone. I could say a few things, but I'm going to leave that one alone. But it is nice. Jeff Brom is now 4-0 in trophy games, 2 cannons, 1 bucket in a bowl game. So that's nice. Hopefully he can keep that up over his career at Purdue. But I am looking at the box score from Ohio State's win Saturday over Minnesota, which was – the score said it was 30-14, but really the Gophers gave Ohio State a run for their money for a good majority of this game. But Dwayne Haskins is probably the front runner for the Heisman right now. If not, he's definitely up there. He was 33 for 44 for 412 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He is definitely a pocket passer. He's not that mobile. I mean, he can run a little bit, but he's more of a passer. Purdue's secondary is going to be tested Saturday night.
To say the least.
Big time. And they need to find out where KJ Hill is at all times. He had 9 receptions for 187 yards and 2 touchdowns against Minnesota. I mean, Ohio State's one of those teams, they have weapons all over the field, but they are a little banged up on defense. The younger Bosa brother is still out, so he will not be playing this week. And I think they lost 3 or 4 other guys due to injury on Saturday. Not sure what their status is. Nonetheless, they have more 4 and 5 stars than Purdue does easily on their roster. Into history, probably, yeah. This is Ohio State's first trip back to Ross-Ade since 2013, which Urban Meyer blanked Daryl Hazel in Hazel's first year, 56-0. And but and Ohio State is also the highest ranked team to come into Ross-Ade since Penn State came in 1998, also ranked number 2. So it's the first time, in 20 years, the highest ranked team to come in. So it's gonna be fun. It's on ABC, national television, 7:30. Great exposure for Purdue. Like I said earlier, I think we're gonna have to run some trick plays. Gonna have to get to a fast start and punch them in the mouth. Have to.
Yep.
Because we can't afford to get down like we did in Northwestern or Missouri and hope we can climb out of a 14 or 17-point hole, because Ohio State is another monster.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where we're going to need everything to go right. I'm really excited to be there. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Electricity will not be in short supply, that's for sure. You just hope the team's not, over-amped for something like this, because, that's always, the possibility with some of these games is the underdog gets too amped up and then just kind of gets a little frazzled there at the start. But I'm really excited for it. Don't really have any expectation. I just wanted to see, keep it close for the most part. Definitely cover the spread. I mean, the spread's at like 13.5, 14 points right now. Ohio State's another monster, so I don't even really know what to expect. But I'm definitely excited to watch it.
Yeah, this is Ohio State's only their second true road game of the year. The other one was at Penn State because they played TCU at a neutral site. I will say Ohio State fans don't like coming to Ross-Ade. Ross-Ade has given Ohio State some troubles. Purdue eked out a win in 2005, 2009, and 2011. So it can happen. In 2009, the Ohio State was ranked number 7. So it can happen. Purdue's just got to play really well. They got to protect the ball. Interesting notes I wanted to mention here from Urban Meyer's press conference. On Purdue's offense, and I quote, he said, "I haven't studied them yet, but I just talked to the defensive staff, and I've seen the stats, and they look really good. On Jeff Brom, I didn't study him, but I've been listening, and I watched on Wednesday. But I know of the coach, an excellent coach, and very aggressive. On Rondell Moore, just in an explosive player, I have not, once again, I apologize, I have not studied him on offense. I will. I studied him in the return game, and he's a guy you have to be careful with in the return game. He's a dynamic player." Doesn't sound like Urban's been hitting the textbooks.
No, not at all. Good Lord.
But he could be lying too, Webby. He could be lying.
Oh, yeah. He might not even know. He could have just forgotten. You never know.
So, no, but in any case, I'm really looking forward to it. Ohio State's always a fun team. It looks like it's going to be sold out. I think there's only 300 tickets remaining. Ohio State fans will probably bring 10 to 15,000 of their own, which will be annoying. Really well. But it adds to the fun of the game. Night game, ABC. You just can't beat it. I'm real glad to be 3-3. Herbie and Nestler. I mean, that's big time. Being 3-3, that's all we could have hoped for a few weeks ago. I mean, sure, it'd be great to be 4-2, 5-1, even 6-0 right now, but that's not the case. We're halfway to that B word, which I think we can say again, bowl. We're halfway there. We got a lot of work to do. A really tough road ahead, as 4 of the last 6 teams we face are ranked, because Michigan State jumped back in the rankings this week, and Iowa's ranked, as well as Ohio State, of course. And Wisconsin. But I like the way this I like the direction this team's going, and I really think, not only have the players improved as years went on, I think the coaching staff has improved. I think the coaching staff didn't have their best efforts particularly against Northwestern and Eastern Michigan, and I think we're seeing them put the players in a better position to succeed than they did earlier in the year.
Yeah, and they're admitting it too, which is something you don't always hear from a head coaching staff. Is they've even said they needed to get better. They looked at what they were doing, and they definitely made the adjustments. And proof's in the pudding. We've seen it on the field, and it's been these last 3 games have been a heck of a lot more fun to watch than the first 3 games. It's definitely contributed to that. And
they've been a lot more fun to talk about too. So, well, with that said, I got to ask you prediction.
Oh God. Oh, what the hell? I'm going to go, let's see here, because we're in Ross-Ade. I'm 1-0 on the year watching the Boilers live, so obviously I'm the good luck charm. So I'm going to go, oh my gosh, Boilers 38-35.
Oh my God! I hope you're right because Rossi it'll be a madhouse and it will get rushed. The field will get rushed, and
oh my gosh!
For good.
I'm going Spencer Evans game-winning field goal.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm having goosebumps thinking about it right now. Unfortunately, as much as I want Purdue to win, I think Ohio State just has a little too much talent. I do think Purdue keeps it close. I will go a score of 41-30. Yeah, high scoring. 41-30. I hope I'm wrong. Dwayne Haskins is the real deal.
Right.
Getting a pass rush and getting pressure on him is going to be huge. But I'm definitely a lot more confident now than I would have been a few weeks ago. So
yeah, that's for sure.
So, any other thoughts?
No, I mean we're 3-3. I can't believe we're already halfway through the college football season.
I know it.
But hey, go 500 these last 6 games, and we're going to that B word.
And I don't have to run a 5 mile, so let's do it. So,
yeah.
All right, Webby. Well, we'll see you this weekend. As always, boiler up, hammer down, hail Purdue.
Boiler up.
All right, J-Man.
41-30, huh?
41-30. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think Purdue covers. They can hang in there. But Dwayne Haskins is going to be too much for that Purdue secondary. I mean, we, by you and me, because you were there with me in person, saw them struggle against Drew Lock, a team that can really spread it out with some athletes. Ohio State's got to do the same. But David Bilau's been playing some of the best football behind center I've seen, at least since Kyle Orton and Drew Brees. He's been playing really, really well. Hopefully he can keep it up. Football, NFL, pro football.
National Football
League. The Fins, man. Fins up.
Led by MVP Brock Osweiler. Yeah, they.
Man, Brock, the rock star.
Living.
Can't stop him. Can only hope to contain him.
Can only contain him, man. And the Bears couldn't do that. His line looked a lot better than he actually played. He threw for a career high in yards.
Was that career high?
Threw 3 touchdowns, threw 2 just awful picks.
You'll get that.
All interceptions are bad, but these were especially bad. One, they had a 1st and 10 from the Bear 40 with 30 seconds left in the half. Just kick a field goal. You just play it safe. Throws it deep, terrible ball. And then right after the Bears scored to tie it, he throws a pick on the first play, and the guy returns it to the 5. That's never ideal.
But luckily, the guy on the opposite side of the ball, Mitchell Trubisky, was throwing some costly picks too.
He threw one really bad one after they had a touchdown wiped out. He threw a pick in the end zone on 1st down. Just a terrible decision. It was a really fun game to watch, I'm sure, from an outsider's perspective because it went to the last seconds of overtime. But the Fish got her done in that heat down in Miami. Albert Wilson's been a great pickup. He's shown why they were willing to trade Jarvis Landry. Wilson's just so much more explosive. Juice is great over the middle, has great hands, really tough, but, man, Wilson can just fly, and he just runs away from defensive backs, and he did it twice. All 3 of Brock Osweiler's touchdowns were not thrown more than 4 yards in the air, so his receivers really helped him out. That being said, I don't want him to see the field the rest of the year, and I'm hoping Tannehill's back this week.
I think I said something, and maybe I wanted to say and I never did, that Osweiler would start at least a game this year.
Oh, yeah. You've said that many times. You said, man, I hope he has to start like 8 games this year.
He, good buddy of the show, Evan Webb, said something about him I can't repeat on the podcast. But Bear fans don't like Osweiler. He's now 3-0 with 3 different teams against the Bears. And his first start for each of those teams were against the Bears.
Huh.
It's kind of interesting.
That is kind of interesting. Living in northern Indiana, which is, it's kind of Colts country, but also it's kind of split, Bears, Colts.
I would say
it might be the older generation of Bears. Of course, being a Cubs fan, you follow a bunch of Chicago media, so I had to hear all week about how great their defense is. Second-ranked defense in the NFL. We're elite. We're going to get after the quarterback. Dolphins can't stop this defensive line. Dolphins did not give up 1 sack and had the most yards they've had in a game since 1988, so it was pretty satisfying.
Well, you got to be feeling pretty good because coming off kind of a deflating loss to Cincinnati, get this type of win. They got a couple really winnable games coming up. They stay right on the heels of New England,
Right.
I mean, that's huge.
5 of their first 6 games have been against teams 500 or better, and now they have a string where they don't have that. I mean, they have the Lions come to town. I think Lions are right at 500.
Yeah, you have a lot of subpar teams right at 500
Lions,
or under.
and then they play Houston, and then I think they go to Green Bay, which they're not going to win there. But then they have the Colts coming up.
Green Bay plays up and down the competition. So, no,
4-2. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, and you're going to be in.
J-Man.
You're going to be there.
We'll be in South Beach in warm, hot, humid South Beach.
More than I can say about the football game I went to. I was expecting nice high 50s, low 60s.
Nice fall
cool
day.
Rocky Mountain day.
No,
about
you got
18 and frigid with some snow.
You got January 13th and
I saw the pretty much a 3-point blowout. If you can call a game that's exactly what I saw. It's just not getting better for Broncos country. Case Keenum's not playing very well. The run defense is atrocious.
They've given up 600 yards rushing the past 2 weeks.
They're the first team since the 1978 Buffalo Bills to give up back-to-back weeks 270 yards on the ground.
That's bad.
It's really bad.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, you hold the Rams at 23 points. You hope you can win, though, and they couldn't do that. Same mistakes week after week. Got the Cardinals at Arizona's upcoming in 2 days on Thursday night. If they don't win that game, the Broncos will have a new coach by Friday. If they do...
You going to book that one?
I'll book it. If they do win, he might hang on for 2 more weeks till after the bye week after Houston. I think a change is inevitable. I think it's coming. Everybody can feel it. Von Miller did come out and say, we're going to kick the Cardinals' ass and put that on the whiteboard. Showed more emotion than I've ever really seen him, so hopefully that holds true because they really need him to play well. Because outside of Bradley Chubb and Emmanuel Sanders, there were too many bright spots on Sunday. But I'm not going to bore you guys with any more of that. You can listen to all my thoughts on the game on the Orange Weekly post-game podcast. That is now posted everywhere that you can hear this podcast on. So
Vaughn was just mad because his chickens weren't cooperating, weren't laying eggs for him.
Darn chickens. Colts, bad loss. Jets, 42-34. Give 42 points to the Jets. That's not good.
I'm enjoying watching them struggle. I had to grow up in school with all these Colts fans, and they were just dominating for a decade, and it's been pretty nice to watch them struggle here the past few years and watch fans just stop caring.
Andrew Luck's, he's not playing the greatest, but he's not playing terrible, and he's got no help around him. I do understand they're pretty banged up. They have 11 starters out, or had 11 starters out on Sunday. They should beat the Nathan Peterman-led Bills, who Peterman is definitely one of the worst quarterbacks in NFL history.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude does nothing good when he's out there.
2 winners, 2 losers.
Okay. Fortunately, one of the winners is the New England Patriots. They edged out Pat Mahomes and company in a really classic Sunday night game. Flexed their muscles and showed they're still right there towards the top of the AFC. As for another winner, give me the Baltimore Ravens. Shutting out the Titans 21-0.
11 sacks.
The Ravens are 4-2. Nobody's really talking about them. The defense has only given up 77 points. And they've played 6 games. There's some defenses who haven't gave up 100, but they've gave up 90-some. They've only played 5 games. So Baltimore's defense is legit.
Yeah.
2 winners for you.
San Diego Chargers going into Cleveland.
Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, Lord. Los Angeles Chargers of Carson City going into Cleveland, and blowing them out, man.
Kicked the crap out of Baker.
All
over them.
The Chargers.
Without Bosa.
I knew I was going to say San
Diego.
Without Bosa, yeah. The Chargers' 2 losses are against probably the two of the 3 best teams in the NFL, Rams and Chiefs. They're playing good football. Phillip Rivers, your boy, is having a really good start to the year. Their defense is good. They're a winner. Another winner, I'm trying to think of I'm going to have to throw the Dolphins in there winning a game started by Brock Osweiler. That's just...
I believe you said if the Dolphins scored 3 points, it'd be a win.
It'd be a win. They end up scoring 31 and having over 500 yards.
Life of sports, man.
It is, man.
I thought you picked the Cowboys as a winner.
I can never pick the Cowboys as a winner.
40-7.
Yeah, it's at home.
Against an elite AFC team.
Yeah. Speaking of losers, Jacksonville Jaguars, they talk so much and win so little. They're just not playing good football. I thought they could come into the season and just roll because they were really good last year, but in reality, Blake Bortles sucks balls, and just their defense hasn't been very good.
Another loser?
Another loser. The Bears losing a game to Brock Osweiler. That's a pretty bad one after we heard about how this team was a Super Bowl contender after freaking 4 weeks. Give me a break.
For the third time. Oh, man. Loser for me, Oakland Raiders. 27-3. I mean,
they'll always be a loser.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Carr looks like he's getting worse. I mean, as bad as the Broncos are, they're a game ahead of Oakland. Oakland's 1-5.
The Raiders.
Derek Carr literally looked like he was crying one time getting up from a sack the other day.
He's banged up. That organization is trash, and it's getting ugly out there. They're shopping 2 of their former first-round picks, Amari Cooper and Carl Joseph. Did you see what Gruden said today?
Need a pass rusher?
Well, no. Yeah, I'm sure he said that. But one of their, I think he's a defensive back, sent out a tweet kind of complaining, and he's saying he's unhappy being in Oakland. And Gruden said something like, well, he's been on 7 other teams, so no wonder he's unhappy here. So, calling out his own player.
Back in the early 2000s, the mascot, kind of the unofficial mascot of the Raiders was like a Chucky doll. It's more like a Cabbage Patch Kid doll right now.
There you go.
Another loser.
Blake Griffin.
There we go. Another loser for me, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And why I say this is Jameis Winston passed for 395 yards and you still lose.
Did you see I didn't see the final play. But they were lateraling it around, and they said Deshaun Jackson had a wide open lane to score the game-winning touchdown, and he dropped the ball out of bounds. Or he dropped it, and I don't know what happened.
Things aren't going so good in Tampa after Fitzpatrick got him off to a good start.
Yeah, Fitzmagic.
All right, ready to pick some games?
I thought we already did that. We didn't do that.
We have not picked games for NFL yet.
All
right. Thursday night, Denver Broncos at Arizona. Denver's a 1.5-point favorite.
Give me the Cardinals, and Vance Joseph is canned.
Broncos win a close one. Vance survives for
It'll be low scoring.
Another about 2 weeks. 24-17 Broncos.
Ooh, that's a lot of points.
Yeah, Vance survives until
17-13 Arizona. Although I hate picking games, or I hate picking a team with a rookie core. You know what? I'm changing my pick to the Broncos 17-13.
Okay. London game, 9:30 start over here. There's tons of them. Tennessee against the LA Chargers. Chargers are 6.5-point favorites.
Give me the Los Angeles Chargers of Carson City.
I agree. I picked the Chargers.
That's rare.
Mariota's just not getting any better.
No. The Chargers team's rolling.
They are rolling. New England Patriots, 3-point favorites on the road at the Chicago Bears.
Give me Patriots by more than 3.
I agree.
By 17.
Yeah. Bad loss for the Bears last week. They needed that one. Patriots coming off a big win.
Miami's a huge home field advantage, especially early in the season when it's so hot. I saw a Bears offensive lineman, Bobby Massey, said he lost 12 pounds playing that football game. So it was so dang hot.
That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills, led by Nathan Peterman, take their 2-4 record at Indianapolis to take on the 1-5 Colts, but the Colts are 7.5-point favorites.
Colts easy cover.
I agree.
34-14.
I agree. Maybe the Colts have some of those pieces back this week, and they don't lose to the Bills at home. Even though the Colts' attendance is down really, really bad this year.
And it's probably not going to be very good for that Bills game.
Battle for the lead in the AFC South. 2 teams holding 3-3 records. Houston at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a 5-point favorite.
Give me the Jaguars. Just think Deshaun Watson's not playing well either. He's probably still a little banged up.
Holds onto the ball too long.
I think Jacksonville forces a few turnovers. Wins the ball game.
I'm going to go Houston on the road. I like that pass rush of Watt, Clowney, and Merciless.
Merciless has 0 sacks this year.
Well, he breaks out this week.
He's due.
Detroit at Miami. There's no line on the game yet.
They're probably waiting to see who's starting at quarterback for the Dolphins.
Probably right.
If Brock Osweiler starts, I have the Lions. If Tannehill starts, I have the Dolphins. So, assuming Tannehill starts, I'm going to take the Dolphins by 3. Osweiler starts, Lions by 14.
If Brock Osweiler starts, give me the Dolphins. If Ryan Tannehill starts, give me the Lions. If Osweiler starts, give me the Dolphins by 17. If Tannehill starts, give me the Lions by 17.
Fair enough.
Love me some Brock Star. Minnesota Vikings, the 3-point favorites at the New York Jets, who have a 3-3 record.
Donald's going to be a good one. I mean, you saw him. I saw him.
They got
Colts
some money
fans saw him.
to spend in free agency after this year. They're going to get better.
Youngest quarterback in the NFL, and he's playing really well, but this Vikings defense can be a little too tough for him. Vikings by 12.
Vikings defense got the rookie Josh Rosen last week. They'll get to Sam Darnold this week. Vikings cover. Carolina coming off a tough loss to Washington at 3-2, traveled to 3-3. Philadelphia Eagles 4.5-point favorites.
Give me the Eagles. They played really well on Thursday night against the Giants. Giants are possibly the worst team in the NFC. Way up there. Eli Manning's done. He was done 3 years ago. They need to start looking to move on from him because I just don't get why they haven't drafted a guy and tried to develop him because, I mean, you could see the signs of Eli declining 4 years ago, and it's just come to a head now, and it's just not going
They
well.
got to go get a quarterback next year. Give me the Eagles. Cleveland at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a 3-point favorite.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Battle of two former Heisman Trophy winners, number 1 picks.
Give me Tampa.
I'll take Tampa as well. New Orleans Saints coming off a bye week. This is going to be a good one.
Up my
This is
fantasy
going to be a good one. Travel to 4-2 Baltimore. Baltimore's 2.5-point favorite.
Ooh, that is a good one. A great offense against great defense. Give me Baltimore at home. That defense is playing well. They get after the quarterback. They'll hit that little Drew Brees quite a bit.
Does Drew Brees throw his first pick of the year?
Yes. They'll lose another week in fantasy. Story of my life.
Yeah, I know. I've lost 2 in a row myself. It's not fun trying to be a champ. But I was thinking about picking the Ravens, but since you picked them, I'll take the Saints in a close one. Drew makes a play at the end. Little NFC East rivalry here. Dallas at Washington. Washington's a 1.5-point favorite.
NFC East rivalry.
What did I say?
AFC East.
NFC East, and it's not a Sunday night game, Josh.
Thank God. I'm so sick of the NFC East. Give me the Skins. They had a win over Carolina that I don't think many people were expecting, but they won it. And I think they do the same against Jerry's boys this week.
I like the Skins as well. LA Rams, only undefeated team in the NFL, 10-point favorites at San Francisco.
Give me the Rams. Big.
I agree. Rams cover. That game was originally supposed to be a Sunday nighter. It got flexed for the 4-2 Cincinnati Bengals.
Who gave the Bengals a Sunday nighter? I just don't like that.
Coming off
said
a
it was flexed.
tough loss to the Steelers, they traveled to Arrowhead to face Patrick Mahomes and the 5-1 Kansas City Chiefs.
Patty Mahomes throws for 700 yards.
That's
Chiefs,
a big number.
Big.
I like the Chiefs to win. Already hate Patrick Mahomes. Hate him.
I hate him.
He's really fun to watch, but I hate him as a Bronco fan. He's going to be a thorn in my side for at least the next decade to come. And Monday night, you got the 1-5 New York Football Giants at the 2-4 Falcons. Falcons are 5.5-point favorites.
What a terrible matchup. Falcons large.
I agree. Even though they
3 touchdowns.
give up more points than anybody in the NFL.
It'll be a shootout.
And bye weeks for anybody involved in fantasy. Green Bay, Oakland, Pittsburgh, and Seattle.
I don't think I have any of those guys.
There you have it. Got anything else before Birdie Bogey?
No. I'm tapped out.
I just want to say good luck to the Zebras Friday night against Taylor as they're hosting Taylor in the sectionals. Good luck with them. Hopefully they can get a dub and keep on playing. Just keep playing, boys.
Just keep playing, boys. Birdie Bogey time. What 2 teams since the start of 2006 are tied with the most shutouts, getting shut out, have been shut out the most?
It's 12 years.
Yeah, since 2006. I think they both have 6 or 7. They've been shut out 6 or 7 times.
This is a tough question.
A really tough one.
I mean, really tough one. I'm going to guess Tennessee Titans?
I said it wasn't the Titans.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about that. All right.
Give you another guess.
Yeah, you got to give me another guess. San Francisco 49ers?
No. I'll give you one more guess. Oh, man. Got a 1 in 31 chance.
I'm trying to think whose offense has been awful the last 12 years.
I'll probably make you mad when you hear.
Buffalo Bills.
No. Oakland Raiders. Miami Dolphins.
No kidding. The Dolphins? Really?
Have you seen their quarterback situation since Marino retired?
Yeah, but that still surprises me that they've been shut out that many times. Oakland, it hasn't. But I don't know why I didn't think of them. That does make me mad. Take a bogey on the chin
Double
like
bogey.
a champ. Take a double bogey and on the chin like a champ. So, well, I think that's going to do it for episode 100 of the Tan and J-Man
Keep it
Show.
100.
We'll see you in 100 episodes. Not really. But thank you. In all honesty, thank you to everybody who's been listening. We have a lot of fun with this. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen and interacting with our show and giving us support. And seriously, give us suggestions. Give us a review on Facebook or iTunes and a rating. If you haven't already, we would really appreciate the feedback. Tell us what we're doing good. Tell us what we're doing bad. We can take some criticism. And you can listen to our podcast every week on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Google Play. You can find us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at Tan and J-Man Show. On Instagram at The Tan J-Man Show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. All of our podcasts are up there as well. And our website, thetanandjmanshow.com. Go check that out. And we'll see you next Tuesday, October 23rd, for episode 101.
Keep it 101.
Of Rochester's #1 sports podcast, The Tan and J-Man Show. Have a great week, everybody.